So, guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about grappling. So, I know we've been covered a couple of MMA events over the last little while, but we're now back to grappling. We obviously had a successful run out at Grapple Fest a couple of weeks ago. And then this time we're going to be on to Grapplekings 7. Now, Grapplekings 7 is going to be in, obviously, Ireland. It's going to be in Southern Ireland. I believe it's in a place called... Now, my pronunciation is going to be absolutely horrible here, but I believe it's Port Louis, just obviously southwest of Dublin. I think it's about an hour outside Dublin. It's going to be on Saturday, April the 2nd. I believe the doors open around about 5 p.m. And it promises to be an absolute fantastic night of grappling. We've got Team Northern Ireland versus Team Southern Ireland. So, and a lot of great matchups already been announced for the card. Tickets are available. Just head to the Grapplekings Facebook page, then it will take you directly through where you'll be able to purchase the tickets. And the event will also be live on Flow Grappling. So obviously anybody that's unable to make the event itself, then make sure you get yourself onto Flow Grappling. Most of you should have a Flow Grappling account anyway. So yeah, you'll be able to see the event on Flow Grappling that night. Now, my next guest is going to be on the show that night. So Paul McKeown. So Paul McKeown of, now let me get this right, IMA Gym, IMMA Gym, and Next Generation Northern Ireland. So Paul's going to be up against a great competitor. So, I mean, this card, Paul, from start to finish, is looking like to be an absolute fantastic card already.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see so many names getting on the card. A lot of matches. I think talking to Andy Chapman, 20 matches he's looking to do on this.
Yeah.
Brilliant to see Andy obviously on Flow Grappling, so great to have the promotion finally.
Definitely. I mean, I'd say Flow Grappling especially. I mean, I'd say it's going to go all over the world, obviously over to America and things like that. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on Grapplekings 7 that evening.
Hopefully they didn't see me doing something half decent once.
It's always great to get a Flow Grappling highlight. So obviously everybody watching it, Flow Grappling obviously put it on their Facebook page and so on. I remember a friend of mine, we were at the Euros a few years ago, and my friend got choked by this big 6'8" Olympian. And Flow Grappling were recording the fight because of this Olympian. It was a big thing. And my mate, as I say, was on the opposite end of a highlight reel where he got choked. So, yeah, 50-odd thousand viewers in the first, I think it was like 15 minutes or something.
Listen, some people take, it's still a good thing for the sport ultimately. So it is, so many people take, even in jiu-jitsu, I think that they have very little egos.
Yeah.
Seriously at times.
Definitely. And then what about you then? So obviously training wise, so I know we obviously had a lot of restrictions over the last kind of couple of years. So but obviously now, I mean 2022 is going to be our year. It's going to be the first full year we've had of training and competition in the last 2 years. So I mean, how's everything going for your training then, Paul?
Well, during COVID the gym shut down, so we had two main lockdowns up over here.
Yeah.
Me and the wife were actually away traveling at the time. We weren't married at the time. We were away traveling and came home because of COVID.
Yeah.
Came back to the gym's not open. There were locked down, so didn't have much just going on there. Reopened for about, I don't know, 6 months or something. Then the gym shut down again. It's been very stop-start. So it has, and then just myself dealing with injuries as well, like my neck, my back, just sort of usual jiu-jitsu type injuries most people will experience at some point.
Yeah.
It's been a bit very slow start, and I've seen Andy's, if you lead into this, I've seen Andy's post about Grapplekings, and I just basically thought, I don't really care about getting the perfect preparation, or I just want to jump into something and start to keep games, because it's been, I think, 3 or 4 years since my last match.
Yeah. It's been a long time, I'd say. I mean, me, like most, feel like COVID, especially grapplers. I mean, the big thing we talk about is our journey to go from white belt to black belt and even further on. But then we feel like we've been robbed of 2 years of our journey. because as I say, a lot of people have got nothing really to talk about over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, the best thing to say, I actually didn't mind having that time off from jiu-jitsu just because of the injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just that sort of time. Like I've been doing 22, now 29, and I was sort of at the time a bit burnt out. So by the time it came to actually starting again, fully back into my training life, now I fell in love with it again. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one thing. I mean, I was looking through your Facebook, and I know you were. Where were you then? So COVID kicked off, because I noticed you were. I can't remember. I don't know if it was at Japan or China or wherever you were. But when COVID all kicked off, you were over there. You were in that vicinity.
So we done. Yeah, that's right. We started in New York. 2 weeks in New York. So I wanted to go training hands with races, so I went there.
Yeah.
Then we went across America. We 5 weeks in America. Yeah, I was with some friends over in Las Vegas. Then we done the West Coast with them.
Yeah.
Went to Japan after that for about 10 days or something.
Yeah.
The day before we were due to leave to Australia, we were told we'd have to isolate. So
yeah.
To Australia, had to isolate for 2 weeks. About day 10 of isolation in Australia, we were told if you crossed the state border, you had to isolate again for another 14 days. So we were screw this.
Yeah.
We were burning through what money we had, so we decided to just come home.
Yeah. Yeah. As it was a crazy time, and I saw some of your pictures. I mean, obviously you're traveling. I think you were in obviously New York. I saw obviously pictures with some of my favourite people, Henzo Gracie, the absolute master himself. So obviously Gordon Ryan, you had John Danaher, Nicky Ryan. So you were training with a lot of really, or you were with it, training with a lot of really nice people.
Yeah. Unfortunately, didn't get a role with Gordon or Nicky or anyone at the time, but I mean, it didn't really matter because even the people, the normal, not tell me about themselves, even they were whipping my ass. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed every minute of it. And getting just that small snippet of being able to go to classes with John. I find I put a post up about it, but honestly, I've never felt so stupid in my entire life, and I loved it. Loved every second of it.
Yeah. They're awesome people, really, really nice people. As I said, it was obviously Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan must have been shitting himself when you walked in. But I'm not rolling with that guy.
If only.
But you know what? Just being in the same place as these guys and just getting a kind of buzz off them, and do you know what I mean, seeing what they're all about and stuff like that. Again, that's an experience you're going to remember for a long time.
Yeah. Well, you see the difference between a gym that's not full of competitors. It's a bit more relaxed, a bit more easy going. Where you go into a gym like that, and it's, I mean, a quiet day on the mats with 60, 70 people, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Over here, we just don't get that. That's a quiet day. We're just there to work. We are.
Yeah.
Go after it,
Yeah. That's an awesome team. They had really, really great team. And then obviously I believe you went over, I think you were talking about the West Coast, so you were in San Francisco and things like that as well. So again, it must have been a fantastic experience just traveling all over the place and being able to train in a lot of these places as well.
Yeah, that's a huge part of why I reason why I want to do America. To train in all these different places. Loved it. It's one of my favorite things to do with jiu-jitsu, just go to different gyms and just roll different people.
Yeah. And then what about Northern Ireland? I spoke to Andy Chapman earlier today, and I mean, Northern Ireland's very, very similar to Scotland. Obviously, a small country, and I mean, what's the jiu-jitsu scene in Northern Ireland like at the moment?
I mean, nothing compared to even England, or definitely not anything like America. Obviously, it's still. I mean, 10 years ago, you would have said it's still in its infancy, but you would still say that nowadays because I mean, there's still only a handful of black belts in Northern Ireland. There's not really that many of them.
Yeah.
I think I could be well wrong here, but I still think there's less than 10.
Yeah.
There's not a lot, but it's good to say, tying back in with the Grapplekings, it's good to have a show like this. Yeah, some of the biggest names in Northern Ireland. I'm not trying to say I'm one of the biggest names in Grappling Northern Ireland. I am not, but just still a good thing for the sport. Hopefully, starting to head in the right direction. We're getting away from just local competitions and getting more towards the stage of doing actual shows with actual matches on, which is good to see.
Yeah. And that's the next step is obviously things like Grapple Fest. We talked about Polaris and stuff like that as well. So it'd be awesome to see obviously some more guys from Northern Ireland on big shows like that as well.
Yep, for sure. So hopefully that's the stepping stones. I want to just compete as much as I can as sort of bog standard. So I just want to compete as much as I can and just see what I guess me and Zen go against. If I do well.
Yeah. And then what about Grapplekings then? So how did you find out then you were going to be on Grapplekings? So I know you mentioned obviously Andy had put a post up and things like that.
That was basically it. So about 3 months ago, I sort of tweaked my bag. So that sort of usual jiu-jitsu entry, usual for me as well. Made a chocolate sewing on it at the best of times, and, so I was coming back from the injury, I was getting rolling again. I was in training 6-7 days a week. Training was really good, and I just saw Andy's post, and I just thought, why not? Messaged him just to see if I would get on the show. No harm if they said no at the end of the day. And he said, "Fine." Within a couple of hours, he said, "I got your match." I was like, "All right, okay, happy days,
nice,
whatever."
Nice. Did you know that we're obviously because obviously I was having a laugh with Andy Chapman. Did you know that Andy Chapman won the Europeans? Did you know that?
I didn't even know that until I viewed his page and seen that he'd won the Europeans.
So every day.
There's another example of how the sport's still not big over here. Like that, winning a European Championship should be a big deal. And I heard nothing about it.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was a boxer or some other sport, you'd hear about it.
Yeah.
Just a European Championship,
It's a huge achievement. I always laugh because he was putting it on every day. He was putting a post on about it. So you put a video, and the next day we'd put a picture of him with a medal, and then the next day would be something. And this went on for, I don't know, the Europeans was 3 or 4 weeks ago, and for about 2 weeks solid, every single day. Must have been 2 or 3 posts up. And he said to me, "Stuart, is it too much?" And I'm like, "Mate, you're European champion, mate. Just keep posting, right. Definitely." Yeah. I said, I'd be walking about the shops. I don't know about you, right? But if I was European champion, I'd be walking to the shops with a medal on and just kicking about the house with a medal on. So, yeah, he done well. He done brilliant. So, but I'm surprised you didn't know about it straight away. Everybody knew about it. So, everybody, because he let everybody know. He was messaging people. He was posting it to people. So, but again, it just shows, obviously, again, a small place like Northern Ireland, I say we're the same in Scotland. Whenever somebody wins a kind of big event, like a Euros or a British, even Worlds and stuff like that, then we celebrate it. We've got, obviously, the Scottish Jiu-Jitsu community page where we celebrate it as a community. So, so something, obviously, it's something that we've done for a number of years now. So, and it just gets, regardless of politics and stuff like that, I know politics still exist at some point, some places in jiu-jitsu. So, whereas, we just celebrate everything like it was one of our own. So, and then what about you then? So what's your future plans? So obviously, main focus will be Grapplekings. So what's your focus? What are you going to look to do for the rest of the year then, Paul?
Number one, stay injury free and do as much jiu-jitsu as I can. That's the main goal. Get my name down for as many competitions as I possibly can.
Yeah,
that's it really. Continue take a couple of classes a week down in our gym, Next Generation. Continue to grow them classes as best I can and help everyone within them classes get better as well. Definitely.
It's a good plan. As I said, hopefully, COVID seems to have gone. I don't know if you noticed that, but COVID's obviously disappeared. It seems to have went away all of a sudden. So, so fingers crossed. Obviously, this could be a full year of grappling, a full year of training, full year of competition. So we'll definitely get to see all of us out there at some point. So, and then anybody you want to shout out to then? So obviously you've been in the game for a number of years. I'm sure you've probably come across a lot of people that you've trained with But yeah, anybody specific, friends, family members, teammates, anything like that.
Probably first two people would be Casey McCoggin, who's actually on the undercard of this Grapplekings. He's one of my main training partners. He's as obsessed about jiu-jitsu as I am. Trains with me 6-7 days a week himself. Next person would be Mark Wallace. Doesn't really compete much, but again, comes in, trains a lot with me, drills with me, and because I take classes, I don't really get a lot of time if I didn't come in the non-class time. So they come in all the time, and we drill with each other, and so they really help me being able to improve at the same time as taking all my classes. Rodney obviously got me started in this game. Rodney Murr. Who else? Just all my training partners down in the gym, so they do, and obviously the wife. She's actually okay with me doing jiu-jitsu so many days a week. At least it's keeping me out of trouble, I suppose.
Definitely.
For now, so shout out to her.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, anybody that you've not mentioned, I said, I'm sure you guys know who you are. You all know who you are. I said, it's always brilliant. I mean, jiu-jitsu, so many people come in and out of lives throughout jiu-jitsu over not just a long period, but short periods of time. And as I said, as you mentioned, obviously things like heading over to New York and just getting some training in with these guys, they were all part of your journey and so on. So yeah, listen, I'm buzzing to see you on the 2nd of April. I'm going to be flying over on the 2nd. Obviously, my big mate, the absolute wrecking machine that is Owen Livesey, is going to be on the card that night. So I'm heading over. I'm going to be coming over to see him. So obviously, I'll obviously be seeing you guys as well. So absolutely buzzing to see you, Paul. Buzzing to see what you're going to bring on that night. So yes. Listen, Flow Grappling highlight coming up for Paul McKeown. So there we go, guys. Paul McKeown, IMMA Gym and Next Generation Northern Ireland. Going to be on April the 2nd. So that's Saturday, April the 2nd. It's on Flow Grappling as well. So make sure if you can't get tickets or you can't get over to the event, get yourself on Flow Grappling to see this. So this is going to be Grapplekings 7. So keep an eye out for this. So Paul, listen, absolute honour to speak to you, buddy.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me on, buddy. All the best.
No problem. And listen, I'll see you on the 2nd of April, buddy. All right.
Yep. See you then. Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye now.